ELTV into this as well?
They probably didn't. I don't think they dragged an ELTV into it. I mean, Andre works with ELTV, so it's only proper that the platform will sort of respond to it, and specifically because of Auntie Moabudu. This story, I don't. When stories like this come up, first of all, the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, I wasn't there. I don't really know what would have transpired. But also, it's interesting when somebody comes up to say I was sexually abused. I don't think sometimes that I don't know. I don't think you can just come out from the blues and just put out a statement like that if something has not happened.
Well,
Especially if if you come in contact with that person. And then sexual abuse, I think we need to start going assault. Sorry, we need to start going deeper into what it means, what are things that can be considered as assault.
What do you mean, like
assault? The definition of an assault, and basically, or assault. This is outside of the sexual part of it. Is even the apprehension or the fear that somebody might touch you to harm you. So just add a sexual, yes, even the fear. You don't actually have to physically touch me for me to be assaulted, but in this situation, she had alleged in the past that he had touched her without her permission. Again, it became a bit gray because just in general background information, if you go back to those tweets, she did have contact with this person allegedly, and these are all sort of things that will come out over the next few weeks. They did sort of have some sort of relationship in the past, so that's where things get a bit sticky and get a bit gray.
Time and Andre?
Yes.
Okay. Relationship, like proper
relationship, or what?
Again,
in the next they
had interactions in the past, which was something that she was concerned about, that people would therefore say because you had relations, you can't have been assaulted. And that is not true. We know that even if you are married, you can be raped even by your husband. And I think a lot of this became concerning because she also tweeted in the same sense, not this particular tweet that we've read out, where she accused Andre. She talked about being raped by Pretty Mike Uno. So having those two associated, and that's why it's nice you mentioned about the definition, because a lot of people were tweeting at Andre saying you raped this woman, and he said no, that's not even what she said.
You know, I'm talking about Pretty Mike. That's the guy that goes around
people on
fashion what?
Well, that's what he calls it.
Excuse me. Google the pictures again. So it's difficult to actually, but I really hope it can be investigated. I don't know how
very close to
can we get proof. How can we get the root of this matter?
What I would like to know is why, if this had been spoken about, because these are allegations you made, why not take it a step further? Why not institute actual
investigation?
Actual
not
process,
just tweet about it.
Which is curious.
Maybe she had. And nothing happened, so
quite possibly.
Now that Twitter is our
new criminal court.
Exactly.
Why did it take so long though? 2 years.
2 years.
Well,
I don't know. In the next few weeks, next few days, we would.
We're going to see.
We're going to see. Because defamation of character, for one hand, is not something you take lightly.
That's very serious, because these are allegations. Again, there's no proof, but yet in the era of No More and Me Too, this damages a lot of people. Anyways, let's move on from that and talk about, speaking of damage, there's a Nigerian artist who was detained by SARS officers after they saw a photo of him holding a rifle on his phone. He says, listen, this was for a video shoot, it was for a music shoot, yet you won't allow me to go. This is senseless. Guys, what do you make of this?
Why do I not believe that story?
Oh, you don't believe it? Why don't you believe it?
Well, I just feel like, first of all, SARS. And then he goes, they took his phone, which is, and why I'm saying, I feel like I don't believe it. Everybody knows how the stories have been going up about police checking your phone and all of those things. And then and then why I feel like, or why I just have that feeling now, it might, is because it's also like we should be expecting a video as well,
Yeah, to see the video with
who else was there, can there be some sort of proof that this really happened?
Because they do check phones.
Yes, and that's a bit worrying in and of itself. You really shouldn't be checking our phones.
Exactly. They check phones, they check your cars. Like my friends, girls, like they had their car like searched properly at night last week.
Wow.
Like their phones, the entire car, their bags, everything.
What are they looking for? That's the first question, really. Why? If there was a report out there for somebody who had something criminal in their phones.
No,
they were carrying out an investigation, and then they have a roadblock. You don't understand.
They don't like.
Is this like a new modus operandi?
They don't like how you speak to them. Like, you know, everybody out.
We're searching everything.
Yeah.
Actually, that has happened to me once before. I remember with my film crew, we were coming back from filming an event at the Muson Center, and we were stopped just at the Bonnie Camp area. You know, where sometimes they set up that checkpoint. Pulled us out of the car, searched everything. I didn't know how thorough the police could be when they search a vehicle until that particular day and incident. I mean, they wiped fingers underneath air. I was like, what are you doing?
And then, you know where sometimes that whole thing
They told the boys to take off their shoes. They checked their socks. I was like, wow.
Yes. When there are a lot of people in the car, first of all, they, you know, and then you're all friends, then it starts from there. You know, so checking. I know I've been in the car before in Keja. I think it was with Bizzle when they stopped us. So what Bizzle kept saying was, just keep watching. I'll follow this one. You just keep watching that guy. So and they went everywhere. Like open. I don't know how
the compartments of the car.
I didn't even know. Yes. Open. So what were they looking for? Probably weed. Any
and another thing people should notice, as much as the police has been disparaged over the years, they're actually very smart. They watch body language.
Yeah, but this is my problem. Apply the smarts in the right direction.
Yeah, but if they meet you, the first reaction you have, first feeling will be that of apprehension. So they see that fear as maybe you hiding something.
So. No, that's this.
So. I don't think so.
You're holding me because you saw. Imagine they saw an Inspector K photo
of yourself carrying an AK-47 on your
me,
phone.
There is a picture of me. There is a picture of me holding a gun on my phone because of Inspector K because I'm an actor. So that is not acceptable. I'm sorry.
That's you, Folu Storms.
And he is a musician.
He's a musician. He's well known for shooting videos like this.
It doesn't matter. Well, this could be a new direction. I'm sorry,
guys. Can we also look at it from black girls sometimes can. You know,
and that is also a problem. It should not. You should never judge people by how they look. I'm sorry.
So
it's completely wrong.
Stereotyping,
and that's what I'm saying. It's completely wrong. You also have no right to actually search people's phones unless you have a warrant to search it. You don't. But Lagos, you know, join us in the conversation. Use the hashtag Grapevine981. We've got to take a break. When we come back, we're jumping into more entertainment news. Up next, we'll be talking about Danfo drivers and whether or not they took money from Tekno. Stay with us.
I'm trying to see videos.
Why should it even be a problem if they pay them?
I like the kissing.
I don't like the thing that they said because I'm like, this is foolish. This is bad business. Why this thing that they've done is bad business. What I want to do is you went to iTunes, you put us in publishing, so we're collecting.
Just did not pay us to do what's that supposed to mean? So what? Just take a selfie?
Like they were searching for weed.
Yeah. That's what I realized when they were searching.
That's why they check the socks, the shoes.
Yeah.
That's usually where guys.
Yeah, you know what made them? You know why they started? Because we're asking questions, and then my friend was like, "I'm a lawyer." Like, they tell herself as a lawyer. They're like, "Yeah."
So you think you
can?
Yeah. And they hate lawyers.
Yeah, they really do. They get very defensive. Because
and
the thing is, the only way that comes out is because you usually ask questions, and they'll ask you why you're asking questions. But if you've been your rights, because I know enough.
You feel like you shouldn't challenge them.
It's not a challenge. It's question. Question. Don't be afraid of question. Education issues. And sound. You need to plug the thing in. The mic. It's what you need.
It could also be like James said. It could just be promo.
Also,
as
you said it, I was
posted like, it casually. Do you understand? It's casual, and then it starts with the, and then later he. No, seriously. Like they stopped me. They checked my phone. Later, the guy, and then he left me.
I wonder what the name of the song is going to be.
Senseless.
So casual, just
it could be senseless. Actually, that's the punchline,
I was
right?
like, can you see? I was on set shooting my. I think yet he won't
SARS
allow me to go.
SARS will follow you. Don't go to your house now. Don't search your house now.
Yes, the night.
Do you understand? This is you talking next morning, isn't it? SARS will go to your house. Will go and search this gun. You have to prove that.
Like if they actually caught you with the picture of a rifle.
It's a problem. It's a real problem.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like I don't believe the story.
Crazy. That's so scary. So scary.
Is it just me or does this video look hazy?
for as low as
Oh, is it on TV screen? You can see the thing sweeping across it.
To London on Virgin Atlantic. That's right.
It's the screen.
For less than 300,000
An example of bad businessmen, Danfo drivers.
Yes.
It just lets you go. I've caught you red-handed.
3 days putting together as in like every because we what's his name? Blackie earns 5% off Timaya's dance.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
cool.
everything like for like can I have a dance?
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that agreed on before he did it?
Way before. Way before.
Good.
Give me my money.
So I always tell like all my artists when you send me a song and it sounds nice and there's a sample. I know how many songs I've
Rejected
because
and
of
everything
that.
because
Don't
of
get your
one. I'm
agreement.
like, yo, are you ready?
Yeah.
Because in the long run, it's
And I'm
about
like, I didn't even want.
Yeah.
It was
You have to
on,
sort
like,
out the
10 different
splits.
songs.
Yeah.
It's too much work. So please go and sing original lyrics.
Stop sampling.
How is this
things.
possible that both of you look so alike? Why?
Who's that?
You and your wife.
Joker.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you guys are.
are.
Oh my gosh, you got to that place where you're morphing into the same person.
Yes.
Look
Look
at
at
your
your
face,
face. It's like that. I actually never saw it. I don't think it's at all.
I do.
Never.
The eyes.
I don't
Somehow
know.
has a smaller voice.
No.
For the time.
Studio, we're back in. Mics are up. In Lagos, this is Smooth 98.1. You're listening to The Grapevine, where we're talking all things entertainment, and we're also talking it up on our YouTube channel where we are live. So go to youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos so you can watch us in the studio. You can comment on my Bantu knots. They are popping. Thank you very much.
Popping. And send a message to WhatsApp 0809-444-0981.
We're moving on. We've got more entertainment stories, more gist to discuss. Danfo drivers say we didn't collect money to reconcile with Tekno. If you guys remember, we had spoken about it on the Grapevine, where the Danfo drivers, the music group, were upset with Tekno because they didn't receive any, because he sampled one of their songs, and they weren't credited. He didn't really talk to them about it. So they did meet up recently, but I mean, you guys take us through the story. What's your take on this, Osagie? Because they say, listen, we didn't meet up, but we didn't receive any compensation from him. We just wanted to make this, we just wanted to sort this out. Let's work together as a team.
Good team help.
Excuse me. What?
Like it's rather unfortunate, I must say, because it will be very disappointing if we find out that Tekno and his team have actually not signed any split sheets or agreements, to allow Danfo drivers earn no matter how small, but just a percentage of royalties from this song, because that's what should happen.
But isn't forgiveness worth more than that?
No. Excuse me.
I'm being sarcastic.
This is bad.
No,
I think this is just bad business practice.
Is this
2018.
Is this in exchange for the selfie?
But the thing
Or
about
in
it
exchange
is,
for a collaboration.
do not ignore the aspect where the part where they said we had an agreement to possibly have a remix with him on the same song.
Yeah, but are they also going to do it for free? This is my question.
That could be a deal. Maybe in that one, in the remix, they'll
yeah, artists, you guys can make money off, collaborations, people sampling your songs. In case you didn't know. Yeah, in case you didn't know. Your beats. Please, people should know. And stop acting like the internet is just for Twitter and Instagram. It's true.
See, at the end of the day, guys, I just feel like this is Danfo drivers. I don't know where they granted this. I'm not very sure about this. If this is what they really said, but what I'm saying in essence is, you can't be proud about this institution like this. Don't be like, oh, we didn't pay us to let it go. Like,
because it's foolish.
What is wrong with you?
I just can't get over this.
But the funny thing is, they might not actually know. They might not actually know.
Thank you.
I was given
okay,
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Like on one of the talents that I represent, Timaya's single Dance.
Yeah.
He sampled lyrics of Blackie's Rosie.
Can I have that?
Can I have a dance? Yeah. And before the song was released, proper agreements, proper royalty.
We're signed, right?
Agreements, yeah, we're signed. And we make it a point of, duty, like over every period of time, we send reports, we send statements, all
because
of
they're
that.
entitled to that.
Because they're entitled to it. And I know that there are other artists in this same Nigeria, this same industry, artists who release songs during the Danfo drivers era, and new artists, who are collaborating and signing these agreements. So, like, I don't know.
Ignorance is not an excuse, really. Ask questions if you're not sure.
Please, let's be learned people. Tomorrow we'll see another news story that'll come out and say, we're now poor. They have abandoned us. No one is remembering us. Heaven helps those who help themselves, okay? Right. We've got messages coming through up on Twitter. Shout out to Bio Mishere and Bio. He says, I have had several encounters with the armed forces. I've had them cock their guns at me, and I've had one hold me by the throat and point his gun in my face.
Wow.
But I have never been behind the counter. They've never touched my phone. I think that your demeanor matters.
That's
interesting.
True. That's true.
Okay. Andrew, that's at BLX, says, only in Nigeria would an artist bite off another artist's song and put it out without due consent, with disrespectful comments of how they tried to tell them first without results, disregard of intellectual property. This too is corruption. And then Obanjimi Adewale says, James, I'm praying for you. May you never have an experience with SARS officials in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I have actually.
He says you will also be risking your life recording a video of a Nigerian police officer. You might not just survive it, he says.
I was once traveling with my Rottweiler, and the SARS official pointed the gun at the dog.
Wow.
For some reason he thought that was funny, but
wow.
Yeah, you know what happens next.
This is not so great, not so great. But what is great though is Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie has received an award. She got an honorary degree from Duke University.
Congratulations.
She said a few writers, the university said a few writers have captured the challenges of immigrants and others navigating those changes as Adichie, which is very cool. I think that's nice. We like it. Good job.
Yeah, congratulations.
Well, Wizkid.
Hey.
Weezy.
We're waiting for this moment.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, all of us.
Yeah, favorite person. So 2 days after his first baby mama called him out for neglecting his daddy duties, his second baby mama Binta has also called him out for neglecting daddy duties. This is for abandoning his child Ayo Balogun. Remember when the story first came out that he might have a child? I will never forget here on the grapevine. I was like, are we sure? Well, you never know. Then we looked at the photo of the baby. Well, but it's kind of like his. Then there was a test, a paternity test.
Yes.
And it was kind of like his. And she says, listen, 13K in 2 years and 4 months of taking care of your baby. This is not how you take care of your child. Essentially, she's not happy. But Wizkid is having little ones all over the place. How interactive is he with his little ones? I mean, what do you guys make of his story? Yeah. I'm gonna go to you, Osagie.
Yes, please.
Because you're a lady and I'm giving you the opportunity.
Right.
I'm just gonna be very biased about this.
No, don't be.
There are many things that I'm obviously not allowed to say on live radio and in public.
Yeah.
But Wiz is a great guy. He loves his sons.
Okay. We already know these things. Tell us what we don't know.
I don't know.
Sweating bullets, Osagie. Sweating bullets.
But well, things are not as they seem.
Things are not the same.
Things are not as they seem. Now she's saying he's never shown up for any of his birthdays or sent a gift. Is he, like, if he were to go to the States today, would he be able to see his son?
He wasn't at Coachella twice.
No, that's Coachella. Like,
would she give him access to his son?
That's a question. Right?
That's a good question. I mean, but
so like I said, there are things that I'm obviously
the background is there.
I think here's what would be nice, right? And someone did put out this post saying, I don't care where you are and who you are with. If you have kids, make sure you take care of them and spend time with them.
How do you take care of the kids when you can't get
I think spending time. That's the thing. No one is saying that there's access denied. I know that his first son, he definitely has access to him when he wants to see him. But how often is he around him?
Access is a two-way thing.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. He has access to him whenever he wants to see him. I can vouch on that. I know that 120%. The first son, I know that for sure. But even with that, I also have an idea of how often he has or hasn't seen that child. Do you know what I mean? So the question is, what example are you setting? Because these kids, especially, they're growing up with a very rich parent, with a very famous, parent, and that does something for their psyche, because these children, whether or not they wanted it, are now always going to be more or less the subject of discussion of social media. It influences them one way or another, and it's not that great.
We also need to realize that he's had all these kids at a
relatively young age.
Yeah, so he's learning, how to be a dad. You can tell the difference. Like, you can tell, like, there was a switch you know, there was like a change when his third son came and everything. So it's like he's realizing.
Well, the mother's a lot older too, so I think that's immature. I'm just
go away. Which brings me to my next question.
But he's just. But no. So he's learning. He's learning how to do that. And I know that Wiz loves this.
There's been a recent controversy around. Wait, guys, how old is Wizkid? What's his official age?
Wiz? Not official age. He was born in 1990.
Okay. Maybe not any.
Okay, so by the end of the day, man, generally, even to any other artist, I just feel like we need to be more responsible. Don't assume that you cannot, meet somebody and think that everything will just go.
And a word out to the baby mamas as well. It just gives some access. If you call out for the guy to come visit your son, there's no way. Except he's extremely irresponsible. There's no way he wouldn't appear.
You mean there's no way?
No, but
I know who are you? Because you live in the cloud.
No, except.
Yeah,
I'm not
reality
to this, but I'm just saying except.
You can just tell the tension. Like you can tell, like with his third child, you can tell that there is some sort of connection between he and his
with his manager.
Yeah. Yes. There has to be a connection. But she's also his baby.
She's like his teacher, so she's guided him through all these things.
So
I'm so sorry.
On to the next story.
We've got messages coming through up on WhatsApp. Ziggy from VI says on Andre Blaze, well, I can't speak on it because we don't have enough information. We are waiting, I understand. On SARS, he says there are a lot of things that they do unlawfully without a warrant. The Nigerian police force isn't ready to listen to us, and that's that. They harassed Dr. Sid just a few weeks ago, says Ziggy from VI. While Shag Money sends in this one, says security operatives have no right to check your phone unless you're a suspect. But wait a minute, why will you be carrying a gun in a music video? Are you shooting an action movie or what? It could very well be. Again, you don't know what the subject of the video is. A lot of them are short movies. While somebody used the hashtag the smooth vine, I don't know what that is, but you need to send us your name. Promise it's the grapevine 981. We are going to take a break. We'll come back. I will read out Promise's message, and of course we'll jump into the rest of our stories. There are international stories to talk about as well as just saying a big congratulations to Zainab Balogun, who just quietly just went and did the needful. Good job. Congratulations, son. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Still the grapevine on Smooth 98.1.
Wedding goals.
So back to Wizkid's second baby mama, the cycle. Sorry. It's actually a cycle. So she's obviously he made a mistake, you get, but then the deed has been done. You know, she legit refused to let him see the boy. Like actually.
That's sad.
Like, you need to pay this sum of money
come and see him
and everything.
I think
he's like, okay, you know what? And I think he was sending, was it 2K a month or something? And she said she wants more. She wants more. And he's like, the money I'm sending is for my son, not for you to get take care of something for my son. And all. Then she went to lawyers, immigration.
I know America is deep when it comes to child support.
That's my biggest concern, is that it doesn't matter the justification you have saying that the other person is XYZ. It never does. The reality is you have escalated matters by becoming a father. You now have this, and unfortunately for you, you've done it twice now, which is why I'm laughing about the second one, because now they are simpatico. Excuse me, relationships fall apart. There is no line drawing because now the federal, because the government is now involved for the rest of your life. Yes.
No matter how much she asks.
That is actually
in America.
The government
that's what it is.
Because the government is now involved.
The government can actually say, okay, this is how much you must.
Are you joking? And you don't want the American government to do that. You don't. That is the problem. That's why they say strap up.
That's why, I always tell all the new artists that I work with, stay away.
It changes your life.
Those women.
It changes your life. And we're talking about this manager. Excuse me, was she not in London? Was she not footballers work? Was she not? Oh, you don't know her just from there first, so she crossed over.
Yes, now.
To America.
Yes, now.
Guys, that's why I say I'm laughing. Because she knows exactly what she has done.
Exactly.
This kid, she knows.
Exactly.
This new one, she knows exactly what's going on.
So he's like, the two of them are fire for fire. So he's like, you know what, Shebi, I'm legit not coming to Yankee again. Let's see what will happen. That's what he's trying to do.
Let's see, but he can't. Because he has another one. He can't.
Because
he hasn't been to the States
since that Malo time.
No, but you know the point is
even before it.
Some of the activities
we're back
in America
studio
here to the UK.
A little tip. Watch the YouTube channel where you catch the details that are all of the
See this boy, he's so serious. Scratching ahead. Let's move on. I'll talk about this guy who robbed Rihanna or stole stuff from her house and then spent the night. Eduardo Leon, you're a hero. Let me just applaud you very quickly. Because I don't understand, this 26-year-old is either very bold or very unstable because according to California police, officers arrived at the house when the security system, Rihanna's security system indicated something might have been tampered with, and they found a guy there, and the guy appeared to be surprised that they were arresting. Why he's like, why are you arresting?
This is my house. I'm waiting for my wife, Rihanna.
Well, he didn't really say that, but what consent?
Imagine look on his face like,
what
did somebody call you? How do you know nobody saw me coming in?
Arrest? Why?
My goodness.
I'm sure he didn't even steal anything.
It's very possible.
That's true. Just burgle. Yeah, he just showed up.
Rihanna's bed.
Get the whiff of her scent everywhere.
Oh, guys, listen. He may not even have known it was Rihanna's place. He could have just been really tired. He could have just been tired, needed a place to stay, and he just entered the house and slept.
Assume that the picture on the wall. This person was really like Rihanna.
Oh yeah, assuming she has pictures of herself on the wall, or maybe Coachella happened out in the desert. We know that sometimes illegal substances.
Yes.
Because they said it's like he trekked, so he never he could have been lost. It's like an Exodus movement. He had been wandering and now he was found in a nice home.
Like an excerpt from a novel.
Speaking of things that sound like a movie, Taraji P Henson, we were just celebrating her engagement, and these haters have not allowed her to rest. Is barely how many hours after they announced her engagement, there are already rumors that her NFA player fiancee Calvin Hayden could be cheating. And why do people think that he's cheating? Because at the same time that he was in Dubai for a guy's trip, his ex-girl was in Dubai as well. Because people researched, but they did not know where she was. There's no picture of them together, but they're like, Hayden.
Why is she in Dubai?
But did you see a picture? Because did you see a picture of the girl? The girl looks Middle Eastern. So it could be a family home. Why are we upset?
Well, I mean, haters work faster than CIA. Get all this information out. It's reminiscent of what happened to Tristan Thompson. Remember how Chloe, yeah?
Yes, Chloe.
She was due to give birth, and then that story is like, just allow people to be happy.
But guys, what if
they're trying to help them be happy?
What if he's cheating?
They're trying to help them. What?
What if? Yeah.
They're trying to help her be happy. They're looking out for her now.
So I'm asking now. So what if he's cheating?
Well, the fact don't go situations here.
What if?
The fact is, apparently, it seems like Taraji knew about it, so waited till they resolved their personal differences before she revealed him to the public.
Oh, about his past cheating.
Yeah,
she did. Well, interesting stuff. Best of luck to them. Speaking of best of luck, I don't know if you guys are checking out Willow and her mom and grandmother are having their Red Table Talks. It's up on Facebook, which is really cool. You can watch it for free completely. Just look for Red Table Talk. And there's some very interesting things that come out. For example, Willow just revealed that she used to self-harm. She used to cut herself back in the day when she dropped her single Whip My Hair Back and Forth. Remember, she was just 9 years old. And now at age 17, she's made this revelation, and she was a bit confused. She was like, who am I? Do I have a purpose? Is there anything I can do besides this? What do you guys make of a revelation and all the stuff that's coming out on the show?
It's sad.
It's sad. It's life. It's honest.
Yeah,
I think it's encouraging. I think if she's at a place where she can talk about it and say, listen, this is where I'm at.
And it was also very scary. I can't imagine the pain that the mother felt when she heard this news at 9. A 9-year-old cutting herself. That's not even a joke, because they are plunged into a world that they never really experienced before, even if they experienced it maybe indirectly through their parents' lives. But that must have been a really bad place that she was.
And I think the Smiths, I think they have a unique kind of that's Will Smith and Jada.
Yeah,
they have a unique way of raising their kids.
Yeah.
This information they already know, or they probably heard about. I don't think it was spilled the first time on live television, but they take the kids through a process where they want them to be
strong.
Their own person.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's sad to hear. I mean,
it's a powerful thing.
Thank God.
It is. And can I be honest? One would like to think that because they're dealing with, they've had to deal with a lot of these things so young, that they potentially will be able to overcome these issues a lot further down the line. Because let's be honest, that Willow is not 17; she's like 32. Her wisdom, exactly. she's about 32 or so. Very interesting. If you want to check that out, Jada Pinkett Smith also talks about losing her best friend Tupac Shakur, and that's quite powerful. Yeah.
Is your best friend?
Sorry, but no. So sorry about your loss. I'm sorry. We're here for you. Speaking of loss, Meghan Markle's daddy is not going to be at the wedding. He's back in hospital. But there's just been so much scandal, even before the wedding. Like, what's going to happen when the Markles marry into the royal family?
I wonder what's going to happen on that day. I feel like something might happen.
Why? No.
Because
they get married. That would be all.
No, I think their marriage is. I'm not trying to curse anybody. It's going to be rather turbulent. We are going to see a lot of stories coming out. We are going to see a lot of, because Valentine's looking so upset because we're talking about this beforehand. We had an analyst that was so upset at the Markles marrying into the royal family, said they're trash, which is a very harsh statement to put out there. But if you do have a family that already has a number of issues, and all families have issues, but very visible ones. You've got a sister who, from the moment she heard that you were engaged, wrote a book about you, has been negative publicizing, doing a book tour, wants to show up to your wedding to talk trash at your wedding. You've got a father who set up paparazzi pictures of himself preparing just so he could make money out of that. You've got the divorce issues. We thought Princess Diana was an interesting drama, guys.
This is gonna be.
Are you ready?
This is the new.
Hollywood is in the royal family.
Yeah, the enemies to your success don't have to be in another country or another town. No, it could be in your home, which is scary. So
these ones are coming from another country.
The Yanks are here. The Yanks are here. Let's see. Message is coming in from Promise. She said, I was stopped by SARS once while driving, and they wanted to search my phone and car. Then I showed them the military dependency ID card, and I was immediately allowed to leave. But I have friends who still have to get bail for not greasing their palms, claiming he has rights. Promise. Please, promise, hook us up. Let us know how we can all be part of your family. That's important, just as you're part of ours here at Smooth 981. Imo's asking about talking about the IGP. No, I'm not interested in that. And no, he's not a celebrity. And no, I'm not interested in having the entire Nigerian nation be mocked globally. No, thank you, because I'm still Nigerian. Yes. And that's all she wrote, folks. We're out of time officially. Done. Look at that. Look at that. We did our best. We did our best, guys. It's not so bad. Not so bad.
This is beginning to feel like we're just sitting around in our living room and having a chat.
But it is just us having a chat with you in your living room or in your
breakfast and drinks.
I know. Somebody want to sort that out for next week?
Yeah, Valentine.
Okay, on you, Val. I like that you brought it up. Good job. So Val says he's bringing in breakfast and drinks, which we appreciate you for. So let's plug out.
Jim Silas, live in the building. See you next week. God bless you.
Osagie, peace. About Basement Gig, May 24th. Next Thursday. Yeah.
Fantastic. Go over to YouTube right now. Go to youtube.com/Folu Storms. You'll see I've got a new YouTube video up, actually, which is exciting. Also, have you? I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's so nice seeing my people coming through and whatever.
I say thank you, Joe.
Future tales. Do it first. And of course, new episodes of Inspector K out as well. And just a lot of exciting things online to follow all of us on social media. And of course, we have been streaming live on our YouTube channel here. Smooth 981 FM Lagos is what you need to search for and catch all the juicy behind the scenes gist. Coming up next, final hour of Smooth Breakfast, and you, Lagos, get to talk with us. Good morning. Oh my days. She just takes days off when she's ready to take days off. It's very random. No, this baby daddy thing is so, because I'm always like, that's why when guys want to be like, it's not, she's like this. I said, stop blaming people after the fact. After the fact, you can't start to be saying somebody is mad. Were you a mad person?